Alright, let's continue with the controller. If you are still up to this point, thank you for watching so far. I'd be bored myself. I'd go do something else. We're going to increment this and say we're on video part 6, slash part 11 or something. I'm definitely confused on it. Now, we're going to go ahead and just make a material real quick. So let's just jump into full screen mode, like that. And we're going to get rid of the control up. We're going to create a new layout and remove the timeline. We'll remove the outliner. And we're just going to bring down this and turn it into a node editor. And we're going to click here and place a sphere, smooth RX.0, subsurface 1, shrink it down. We're going to put a camera, and then just put the camera over the sphere. Why are we doing this? Well, because we're not going to mess with the controller yet. We're just going to test out a material real quick and fine tune it, then use it on the sphere. So we're going to area, select that, Shift T, track 2, GX. We're going to lower the distance. Alright, so it's about there. We're going to put one there, and put one here. Lower its energy to 0.3. Lower this one to 0.7, and we'll render that out. Alright, it's almost there. Alright, so check this out. Here's a handy trick. If you're in a camera view, you press Shift B and draw a box around something. It renders only that area. And that's what we're rendering. That's it. We still got our controller. Let's save it. And let's assign a material. We're going to call this PS3 controller. Alright, and we're going to make it a node material. And by the way, this is a node editor. Select it as a node editor. Materials use nodes. And we're going to just delete that. We're going to create our first material. We're going to call this black wide. And it's going to be a black material with a Ward ISO, and we're going to bring up the slope and the intensity. And then there we go. Maybe even come over here and let's turn off color and just do intensity and see how that looks. Not very visible. I bet if we turn down the intensity, there we go, we got our look. And we just want to get that, that kind of speckly look PlayStation controllers have. There we go. Now let's just remove that and add a new one and call this BLK Fine. And this one's also going to be black with Ward ISO and a very fine specular. And let's look at that. That's how that one looks. Let's change it to black wide. That's how that one looks. And let's go to PS3 controller and see how that looks. Oh, that one sucks. Alright. Let's maximize this, control up, and go ahead and just put black wide. Shift A, output, color mix. In fact, we'll just Shift D, duplicate this, make this one fine. Turn off diffuse. Bring this over, turn this to screen. And if we render that out, what do we have? Alright, that looks kind of good. Except the specular of the other object is a bit strong, so we might want to adjust it a bit. We'll just go over and edit the wide, and lower the intensity a bit. See what we got. Alright, go to PS3 controller, render that out, and we got that. That looks alright, but I think we need to add clouds. Let's see what that does. Maybe if we have another texture of noise affecting the intensity, and this one was a stencil. Maybe we should lower this intensity as a, maybe bring it up. And see, this nice little testing rig kind of makes for looking at materials a lot easier and testing them out. Hold on. Alright, but this material I like. We're going to actually take it for a spin. So we got our node-based material, super simple. I mean, we could have come and done a lot more stuff to it. I don't like that it's so black. I'm going to actually bring it up a little bit into the gray region and then re-render. And I think that looks pretty good. You know, we can come down here and actually colors, brightness, lower the brightness a bit. And see, just playing with the nodes for a minute, you could actually make some pretty amazing looking effects. But I kind of liked it better when it was all little, yeah, there we go. We don't want to run that look. Alright, so let's get rid of our node editor. We're done with that. We're done with all of this. Delete. We're going to select a controller and choose an angle that looks good. Here, we'll go with that. Put the camera there. GZZ. Alright, let's assign a material to this. Select this controller, make it PS3 controller, select this, the buttons, to start and select, and select this, and Control L, link materials with Control L, and if we render that out, we won't see very much, so Let's set up lighting. Shift C, empty. Let's move the empty over for now, and we're going to set up area lamps. Alright, now just use Control T after selecting them, create a track 2 constraint. And now I'm just setting up a lamp to hit it. This one's going to be providing a bit of the rim glow that I want to be happening. So if we actually turn off diffuse, we could get, let's go in camera view and Shift B, remove the border. And that's what it looks like when I edit specular. Turn on diffuse. We definitely need more lights. Distance. In fact, we want this specular lamp to hit from the top. We'll just hide that. Shift A, lamp. We're going to do an area lamp again. This time, track 2. Control T, track 2. We're gonna, alright, only 11 minutes into it. Let's look at that. Wow, that's blown out beyond recognition. The controller's black. And we just lower the distance and do it again, and suddenly we got a very much more decent looking render. Now I'm starting to think that that very wide specular needs to be adjusted. Alright. Now let's try it. And that looks starting to look kind of awful. Well, we're only on light number 2. And this one's going to do ray shadow samples 8. Oh yeah, I need to go under my render settings, and we're going to put mine on 25%. And of course it looks bad, but it'll do for this. Now, let's see. Area, Hemi RX 901 negative. We're just going to lower this down and pull it out and see what we got here. Maybe change it to something bluish. Alright, this lamp, we're going to duplicate it, put one here, lower strength to 0.4. We're going to put one here, lower it to 0.3, and we're going to hit render again. Alright, so we need to turn off ray tracing for a bit. I need to remember that that's off though. And let's go ahead and remove that. I know right now my lamps are a little chaotic. Basically I just want the light to be coming, I guess, real strong around here, and then hitting it real hard here so it has a nice contact shadow. And that is not looking like it. So we put this one here. We make sure that this one is 0.3. This one's definitely 0.2. Alright, this one's got to go down to 0.6. And we're going to make some adjustments to the camera. Alright, what is this? Okay, it's an area. I thought it was a point or something. Couldn't see the borders. Alright, we're just going to hide those. We're going to do this out again and see what kind of picture we got. Alright, now this big one is starting to look like it's a little too pronounced. And that isn't even the right material for the controller. Let's see how that does. And I'm going to have to turn on ray tracing again just to get a nicer look to it. So you gotta get impatient here. Look at this. Wasting tons of time waiting on this render. 25% resolution. Gotta replace this computer eventually. Alright, I do like how the speculars are looking. Alright. Alright. And that'll do for angling the camera. Now we're just gonna create a plane, rotate it and scale it so it fits, and just set the controller on top of it. Now before, usually I just set the plane to be, you know, straight up on the ground and just make the object fit on it, but I just think it's better sometimes to just leave the rotation of the object as it is and just make the ground compensate. I mean, in these kind of pictures, it does really explain how the camera is being held, so. And that's it for this one. I mean, if we render that out now, And with the contact shadow, it's definitely looking a lot better, even though the material, I think, we can give a little work to, but we'll do that later on. In fact, like, even the area where the deep head is doesn't look like it's deep enough right there. So, since we haven't applied the mirror, let's just go in and take a look at our good friend here. Alright. And it looks like I even have this set up where I can come back and put my R keys later if I want to. Well, I mean, when I am, like now, I'm going to do it right now. So let's go ahead and we're about to make a landmark, so save it. And not that file menu, this file menu, save as, move it up one, and we're gonna apply, boom, the mirror. That way we can go ahead and just alright, Control plus Shift E. Alright, we're just going to select these and that and Alt M, merge at center, and just bring that down. And just do that on all of these real quick. Just, you know, select faces, Control plus Shift E, 1. We'll select these two faces, scale them in, or scale them on the Y. Put them there. SX, scale them in just a bit. Now these may not match up perfectly. Unless we really want them to. Alt M, center. Change our snap type with Control Shift Tab to Vertex GX. Make it match up. And Alt M, center. Alright, do it here. Shift E, 1. Select these, bring them in. Vertex, select these three, Alt M, center. Alright, we're almost done with this part. Face mode, select these two. E, Control plus, Shift E, 1. It sure becomes repetitious sometimes, huh? We'll just go vertex mode, select these three, Alt M, center, and make them the same size. And for the finale of the video, we're going to select these three and that are just bad geometry, period. And we're just going to easy Shift E, 1. Shift B. We're just going to select this area and Render that out. And that's how we'll end this part.